Hi, it's Mike Hayes again with another podcast listening AI Chalk Talk. You know what happens when you take the incredible power of AI and fuse it with our deep human need for connection, real connection. You don't get robots replacing people. You get people finally realizing how powerfully we can connect together. It's about turning AI into a co-host, not to speak for us, but to help us speak better, share more, and learn from each other faster. Because when technology meets community, that's where real growth happens.
Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really interesting vision for the future. It's one that doesn't see artificial intelligence and human connection as enemies, but actually fuses them together. It's a pretty powerful concept, so let's just jump right in. So the whole thing kicks off with this quote, and it's really the core philosophy behind why we can't just ignore something as big as AI. The logic is pretty straightforward, right? We have to face this challenge head on, because if we turn our backs, it's only going to get bigger. This really sets the stage for being proactive, not reactive. All right, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the challenge of fusing AI and humanity. Then we'll look at the perfect blend of tools for the job, see how your local library can become a central hub, check out some simple ways to share knowledge, and then we'll wrap it all up with a concept called the hospitality mindset. Okay, first up, let's get right to the heart of it. The big idea here isn't about choosing between technology and community. Nope. It's about creating a brand new fusion where each one actually makes the other stronger. You can really see the two worlds we're talking about merging here. On one side, you've got these powerful AI tools like ChatGPT, and on the other, you have the, irreplaceable value of actual human networking and local events. The goal is to mash these together into something the source calls ChatGPT networking, basically using AI to give our real-life connections a major boost. And this, right here, is the whole mission. The most important point is that this isn't about automating our relationships or anything like that. It's about using AI as a tool to make it easier for us to connect and learn together, making sure that the human element stays right in the center of it all. Okay, so how do we actually build this thing? What are the core components, the ingredients we need to create this high-tech yet high-touch ecosystem? Let's take a look. According to the source material, it all boils down to these four pillars. We've got using ChatGPT for communication, turning local libraries into learning centers, using AI podcasts for learning on the go, and then a simple sharing tech called RSS. We're going to touch on all of these. Now, this brings us to what might just be the most surprising, and honestly, the most vital part of this entire vision, totally reinventing the good old local library. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It completely shifts how we think about the library. The idea is to see it not just as a quiet place for books, but as this dynamic, energetic hub for networking, for community building, and for learning together. A real center for local connection. And you know what's so cool about this? It's not just some high-level theory. It's a super practical plan. The source lays out a simple 3-step process. Just find a handful of people, book a room at your library, and start learning together. It's grassroots, it's super accessible, and it's the perfect way to practice that ChatGPT networking we were just talking about. Okay, so you've got these local hubs popping up and creating all this knowledge, but how do you get that learning out beyond the four walls of the library? Well, the answer is a technology called RSS, which stands for Really Simple Syndication. Now, if you're not familiar with it, don't worry. It's basically a web format that lets you subscribe to updates from things like podcasts or blogs. Just think of it as the plumbing that makes all this automatic content delivery happen behind the scenes. I absolutely love this reframing from the source. Forget all the technical stuff. At its heart, RSS is really just about really simple sharing. And that connects the technology right back to the whole collaborative spirit of this project. It's a tool that's literally built for sharing. So here's a concrete example of this in action. The knowledge that gets created in one of those local library groups, say they record it as a podcast, can be shared through RSS. This lets that local grassroots content automatically get sent out and become part of a much bigger digital library, like the one mentioned here. It's how all these small local efforts can build up into this huge connected web of shared learning. So we've covered the what and the how, but what about the why? What's the philosophy that ties all of this together? Well, it all comes down to what the source calls the hospitality mindset. And this is the crucial takeaway here. Being successful with new tech isn't just about your technical skills. It's fundamentally about how we treat each other. It's a bit of a counterintuitive idea, isn't it? As technology gets colder and more efficient, the key to success is actually becoming warmer and more human by mastering this art and science of hospitality. So what does that actually look like? Well, it means knowing how to share your own knowledge, but also how to be a good guest and receive knowledge from others. It's all rooted in the simple idea that sharing is caring. And, maybe most importantly, it also includes self-care. That idea of putting on your own oxygen mask first so that you actually have the energy and capacity to help the people around you. So if you remember one thing, let it be this. The big idea is this powerful fusion of high-tech AI tools with the high-touch, absolutely irreplaceable value of our local community spaces. One doesn't cancel out the other. They actually make each other way, way better. And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Could this blend of advanced AI and your neighborhood library, could that actually be the future of how we learn and connect? It's a pretty fascinating thought to leave you with. Thanks for tuning in.
So here's the big takeaway. AI isn't here to take your seat at the table. It's here to pull up another chair. When we use it with intention, with hospitality, and with heart, we don't lose our humanity, we expand it. That's the real future of learning, of connection, and of us. Learn more at podcastlistening.com. And if you live in the Bay Area, join us for a live podcast listening training and recording session about teaching ChatGPT for podcasting, for networking, and for community building. I'm Mike Hayes.